Merhaba arkadaşlar. Bugün dizinde Amerikan hakkında video çekeceğiz. Ve benim buradaki sürecimi anlatacağım. Hoş geldin. Orospu çocuğu. No idea what I said.
Good. Yeah.
What is that?
Means I like you guys. Okay. I'm gonna speak in Turkish first and then we will switch to English. Okay. Selam herkese. Şimdi size arkadaşımla Rodolpho'yla bir video çekmeye karar verdik. Onun buradaki sürecini anlatacağım biraz. Kendisi Brezilyalı. When did you move here?
An year and a half ago. Yeah.
1,5 yıl önce buraya taşındı. Biz de yaklaşık 1 yıl önce tanıştık. O zamandan beri böyle yakın bir arkadaşım. Onun süreciyle ilgili böyle biraz ben sorular hazırladım. Ona birkaç soru soracağız. Ve onun buradaki aslında göçmenlik süreciyle ilgili biraz bize bilgi verecek. Hazırsanız başlayalım. Video İngilizce olacak ama aşağıya çevirisini koymaya çalışacağım. Okay, we can start. So maybe first you can just introduce yourself.
Okay.
Like who you are, single or...
I'm single.
I'm Rodolfo, I'm 34 and single, thank you.
Yeah, no, that,
Okay.
yeah, I'm Brazilian. My name is Rodolfo Pereira. I'm from Brazil. I moved to San Diego a year and a half ago. I'm a mechanic engineer and I moved here with my cat.
Yeah.
Due to the work. But yeah, my cat's no, not Eduardo. Edmundo.
Edmundo, I'm
Yeah,
so sorry.
Edmundo.
Edmundo'yu seviyoruz, evet.
Yeah,
Okay.
the most beautiful cat in the world. So yeah, so me and my cat we moved to America to start a new adventure in this
Yeah.
chapter. Yeah. So.
When did you move here?
Huh?
When did you move?
2023 August.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it's
August.
been like...
Yeah, a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. So let's start. I have like a few questions for you. So first one is, how did you decide moving to the States?
It's always my dream to move to America, but I have a very good career in Brazil. So I came to America one time per month for the last 10 years due to the work, but decided to move. I ever had this dream in my heart, but you know.
When you were a kid or when it started?
Yeah, I've since as a kid, you know,
Really?
watching movies, all this kind of stuff. So maybe the life here is funny. So maybe why not? But as I had a very good career in Brazil, I think that I'm too old for this dream. But I received a very good job offer for a company here. So okay, why not? It's always my dream. I'm not too old. I have no kids. I have no wife. So yeah. So maybe this.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
Yeah, but now
Yeah.
maybe it's the chance to move.
Yeah.
It's now, not after that. So okay, why
So
not?
you were like 33 years old or something when you moved in here, or 32?
Yeah, when I received the offer was 32.
32, yeah.
Yeah, so all the process to immigrate is a huge one, so
Yeah.
it takes a year. So yeah, 32 and now 35.
Okay. So next question. What is your visa status? And do you think it's hard to get it? Do you think it's hard to get that visa from Brazil to live in here?
Yeah.
And what's your status here right
Yeah, unfortunately Brazilians who came here, it's hard because a lot of Brazilians came without status. They came
Yeah.
as a tourist and stay forever. So
Yeah.
this is the bad part. So to get any visa from Brazil, it's hard because of this kind of people. But yeah, my visa is the O-1.
O-1,
Yeah, it's people with extraordinary ability. It's hard because you need to prove what kind of ability you have. And they have 6 or 5 areas that you need to prove that you're good. And you need to pass in at least 4. So it's a lot of paperwork. As I mentioned, it's a year to prepare. You need a lawyer, you need a...
So you were in Brazil
Yeah,
when you
waiting.
were applying for the O-1
Yeah,
visa.
so you need a sponsor, you need a company to pay for everything, to be your sponsor.
How much did they pay for the process? For the O-1?
The O-1 is $35,000.
35,000.
Yeah, it's
good
a lot of
good
money.
amount of money.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you can suggest people about the visa process?
Yeah, because you know, if you came to work here, every time you need a sponsor here. Even the H1B, you need a
it's
sponsor,
difficult.
but it's a lottery.
Yeah.
The H1B is a lottery, so you need to wait maybe 2-3 years to get
Yeah.
your visa. The O1, you don't need to wait for that, but you need to prove more stuff that the H1B.
You need to be eligible for O1.
Yeah. So it's a balance between, okay, I can wait for 3 years, the company waiting for you for 3 years or not. In my case, the company say, no, we don't want to waiting for you. We need you tomorrow here. So this is why they They applied for the O1.
Actually, they applied for you.
Yeah,
right?
so but you need to be eligible for the O1
Yeah.
too. So it's not just because they want or what I want. I need to be eligible for that.
Okay, good. Next one. Okay. What was the biggest cultural shock for you in California?
I think it's more than all in California. I think it's the entire America.
Yeah. What was
It's-
the biggest cultural shock for you?
In,
the
in
States?
comparison to Brazil, people in Brazil are more warm.
Yeah.
You know, they're more friendly. They're more welcome. Here, people are very polite, but they are not very.
In
friendly.
a superficial way,
Yeah,
right?
they-
It's superficial.
They want to know if you're right, but they don't want to know. You know, they don't care.
Yeah.
Looks like that. They're very polite. They're very friendly, but they are not warm. So to have a very good friendship here, to find your circle here, it's very hard.
Yeah.
So when you move here, you need to be prepared to be by yourself, alone.
Yeah.
But it's good because you're gonna grow up a lot. But
Exactly.
people need to know about that because it's not easy. Don't think that you're gonna find a lot of people here. Oh, I'm gonna find Brazilian friends. No, it's completely different Brazilian friends in
Here?
America than in Brazil. I think it's
Exactly.
completely
It's same
different
with-
in Turkish people
Yeah.
because you're gonna find people that you're gonna be friends just because you're the same country.
Yeah.
But if you're in Turkey, if you're in Brazil, you'll never be friend of this kind of people. So I think it's that
Yeah,
way. So
it's hard to find your people.
yeah, it's completely different. Yeah.
Exactly.
So this is the biggest difference that I have here. People are not warm like in Brazil.
Is it the only one, or do you have?
I think the food. The food is completely different in Brazil too. I think it's more healthy in Brazil,
Yeah.
healthier in Brazil. And here you can find for sure some solutions and for some some healthier food, but it's not too easy.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah, for example, in Brazil it's very common to have every lunch
Yeah.
a juice, fruit juice, and here, no, it's not. So you're gonna have soda every day or
Yeah.
water every day.
Yeah.
It's very hard to find a place with.
Cornflakes.
Yeah, it's not nice.
Yeah.
You can adjust your life here, but I still miss the food from Brazil.
So it's so funny, this question. Do you remember the guy that I told you, my friend's friend? He asked me the same question, and my response was, people are not warm, and the food.
Yeah.
I gave it two exact same answer.
So we are
so
aligned
it's same,
with the
yeah.
feedback from
Yeah.
different countries for the same
So
point of view.
the next one, what do you miss about home? What do you miss about Brazil?
I think my friends and family. My parents, they're here, visit me every time that they can, but
Yeah.
the
Right now they are here
yeah,
too.
my parents are here, but the entire family, uncles, my friends. I think it's this is the part that you miss more, because you miss your routine in your country because you
Exactly.
know everything,
Yeah.
For example, if you need to have your driver license, in Turkey, in Brazil what you need to do, and here you need to discover everything from zero.
Yeah.
Looks easy, but after a long day from work, from the college, and you need to learn a new life in a new country.
Yeah.
On Friday, you're gonna be very tired about learning a lot of new things. So you miss the routine. You miss to know all this stuff from your country.
Yeah, exactly. Good answer. Okay, another one. Ready? Just let me know if you want to take a break.
Okay, I'm good.
How do you feel about being an immigrant in the US?
Uh,
Because
yeah.
in your country,
Yeah.
you had a good career, you
Yeah.
had your friends, but here you're just an immigrant. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's funny because in Brazil, I'm straight, I'm a man, I'm a white, and I'm middle class in Brazil. So I've never faced any issues regarding any problem in Brazil, any cultural problem.
Uh-huh.
And here, you're in the bottom of the pyramid. You're
Yeah.
in the immigrant.
Yeah.
They don't care if you're a man or straight or a medium class.
Your job.
You're an immigrant.
Yeah.
Every place, everybody knows that you're an immigrant, and I really don't care about that. But I know a lot of people that cares.
Yeah.
I know a
Some
lot of
people,
people.
they really struggle.
Yeah, and it happens. You were in a bar, a girl is looking for you, looking to you, and you're gonna talk with the girl, and just because you're not American, they say no. So
yeah.
this,
Yeah.
I don't care, but this is a situation that I've never faced in my life. Because again, I've never had any cultural issues in Brazil, any society issues, and don't take me wrong, in Brazil, unfortunately, they have a lot of division.
Yeah.
Poor people, medium class people, straight people. For example, girls in Brazil, they cannot walk alone by herself at night in Brazil because it's too dangerous. So I never had these kind of problems because I can walk everywhere in Brazil. And you know, I never had an issue. And here, you're an immigrant. So
Yeah.
since the beginning, you're an immigrant.
And you're gonna always be an
Yeah,
immigrant.
you'll always be
Yeah.
an immigrant.
I think you have to accept it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's something that
you know,
you have to accept, and
it's something that I don't care,
yeah,
but I know a lot of people that cares.
yeah, they do care.
Yeah.
I think the important thing is if you can find your people, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I agree.
What's the cultural differences that you faced between Brazil and the US?
That is a good one because you know in Brazil people are more warm, but this is a bless and this is a curse too because you're gonna have a lot of people in your house. You don't have a lot of your own space because every time people are very close to you.
Yeah.
And here people respect a lot your space.
I think people here are more individual,
Yeah.
but in Turkey and in Brazil, as far as I understand, like people are more warm, but also you don't have enough space for yourself, right?
Yeah, and here I like this point of people are more.
Individual.
Yeah,
like,
because I love to be in my place with my cat, just chill, and it is good, you know.
Also, it helped me a lot.
Yeah, you
I
know,
like it.
in Brazil, if you have neighbors, they're gonna
Hey,
knock your
what are we
door.
doing?
They're gonna
Let's have beer.
looking for you, this
Yeah.
kind of stuff, and sometimes you just don't want, And people here they don't care about. They don't care.
That, yeah.
They don't care. I don't know if the correct word is gonna be care, but you can live your life here by yourself and without any issues. So it's good.
Yeah, it's good. At the beginning, it was a big shock for me. I was like, what? Like people just don't care about you. But now I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's funny. You can spend a week or more than a week in my apartment area without see anybody here walking by. It's
Wow.
you see, come on, this just nobody's living here, but no, a lot of people live there, but
They're
it's
just
good.
individual. Do you want to stay here or planning to go back to Brazil at some point of your life?
My plan is to stay here forever.
But what if you retire? Like, still, do you want to stay here?
Yeah, I think that I would like to stay here because Brazil, unfortunately, as I said, we have a lot of social issues. It's not too safe in some points, and here it's completely different. You can just walk with your camera, with your cell phone, everywhere. Nobody cares about anything about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And in Brazil, you need to pay attention too much. If you just hang out to the beach, for example, just to chill, you need to look around. If any pickpocket is gonna pick your phone, this kind of stuff. And here, you don't need
you
to
feel
care.
safe, right?
Yeah. So this is something that I love here. And if I come back to Brazil, I think that they're gonna miss this. So I prefer to live in a place that I feel safe. And after years here, I think that you're gonna create your circle here, your family here. So I don't think any reason to come back to Brazil.
Yeah, you can just visit.
Yeah, for sure I can be wrong because plans is my plans, but we know that
Life happens.
yeah, shit happens.
Yeah.
After COVID, we know that we don't have anything in control here anymore. But yeah, I think that my plan, if you ask me my plan is stay here.
So I think most of the Turkish people, they love being here. It's good, but at some point, I think for all of us, including me too, we are always thinking about going back. Like, for example, if you ask any random Turkish people, as far as I know, they would say, yeah, I want to get my green card, I want to get my citizenship, and then I'm going to move back to Turkey. This is how I feel, but you never know.
Yeah, we never know. You cannot control this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
but if I can create my old history, it's to be here forever. Yeah.
Do you think Turkish and Brazilian people are similar?
They're very warm, like in Brazil. They're friendly. So I don't think that we are so warm like in Brazil, because in Brazil we are so
we are
warm.
not that much. Right?
We're so warm. We party too much in Brazil. Brazilians are very happy.
Yeah.
So we always find.
Turkish people are not that much happy.
Yeah, Brazilians, we are happy for anything, you know. But you know, if you compare Brazilian to Americans and Brazilian to Turkish, I think that we are more close to Turkish
exactly.
than Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So another one. What do you think about Turkish people?
But again, you know, you're the first and unique Turkish people that I know. So you're so friendly and kind and smart. So I think that, you know,
Most of the Turkish people are friendly, kind and smart.
So yeah.
Because Atatürk ne demiş arkadaşlar? Türk milleti zekidir.
Türk milletinin karakteri yüksektir. Türk milleti çalışkandır. Türk milleti zekidir.
I have to say this, I'm sorry.
What is that?
Do you know Atatürk? It's the founder of Turkey.
Oh, okay.
And he has a speech. Basically, he says Turkish people are smart.
Oh, perfect. So makes sense.
We knew that Turkish people are smart.
So we're on the same page.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, as you were the unique Turkish people that I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So the last question: which advice would you give to other people planning to immigrate to the US? Like, do you have any suggestions?
I think you just need to prepare your mindset to be alone, and it's gonna be hard for sure. It's gonna be hard in the beginning, but when you move, you know all this kind of stuff. That's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
You're gonna face a lot of issues. It's not easy, you know. So you need to prepare very well your mindset. It's just more saving money and documentation and paperwork. I think you need to prepare yourself, and you need to be happy with yourself by yourself, you know, because you're gonna spend a lot of time here alone.
You need to find the happiness in yourself.
Yeah, you're gonna spend a lot of time here alone.
Yeah.
You know.
I think this is how you can survive.
Yeah, even the simple stuff. You know, if a grocery shop, you don't know any brands here. You know, the simple task
At
just
the
to buy
beginning?
10 items, you're gonna spend hours.
Exactly.
Googling because you don't know the brand of rice, the brand of
And
bread,
they have
the brand.
so many stuff.
Yeah,
like-
so even the simple stuff, you know, demands a lot of energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
At
so-
the beginning, I hated grocery stores
Yeah, me too.
here because, for example, I'm just gonna go and buy some like bread. That's it. And
There-
it takes an hour.
40 brands,
Yeah.
40 types of bread. And
It's too much.
even if you wanna, you know, if you wanna have a breakfast, they're gonna
Yeah.
ask, what kind of bread do you want? I don't know. I just
I
want
don't
a
know,
bread.
just plain bread.
Just a bread. No, they have 10 types of bread,
Yeah.
and sometimes you don't know. So even the simple missions to
I think this is when you feel that you are an immigrant, right?
Yeah.
This is how when you feel it.
yeah, and it's funny because every time you're learning, you know,
Yeah.
you're gonna order food. You know, the menu is completely different. The way that they write all this stuff is completely different. You order one thing, gonna arrive another thing. Shit,
Yeah.
I don't eat this, but now I need to eat
Yeah.
because you know I ordered that.
Yeah.
So so you need to be very prepared for your mindset for all this kind of stuff because it's not easy. You know, since the beginning it's not easy. So just don't complain and just enjoy.
Exactly. Yeah. Alright. I think that was all. Thank you so much
You're
for doing
welcome.
this for us. Yeah, it meant a